What's up, guys? Welcome back to another live stream Monday with Mark, your host today. Plus, is out. He probably got too much sunburn from yesterday's game. Probably pampering those wounds. But you got me, Mark, and our special guest today, Gene from Buck What You Heard. I get this guy. I give all credit in the world to getting Plus and I involved into the podcast, live stream, YouTube world. He literally opened our eyes to all this, and he's pretty much the go-to for us when we're starting all this. But guys, welcome back to the show. And if you got any questions, make sure to hit him down in the comment box below. With that said, Gene, what do you think about this Bucks domination of that 33-3 victory, 38-3 victory over the Chicago Bears?
Bro, the Bucks are 6-1, and I've been enjoying the ride. Since the Super Bowl, this has been a big celebration for me. I'm not so much worried about what the GMs do or what the coaches do. I'm enjoying the games. I'm enjoying the fact that we're winning games that historically the Bucks do not win, and it's just fun. It's been a fun season, so I'm really enjoying this.
I mean, it's almost what we should have expected. I mean, we won the Super Bowl. You have brought the whole damn team back. You expect to be either on par or even better since you had a whole season without training camp, without cohesiveness, a new quarterback, learning everything together, and now you have everything back. We almost expected it. It's almost crazy to actually seeing it happen. Like Plus and I talk about this all the time. It's almost like we have that thing in the back of our minds. We're Buccaneers. I mean, this is
Mhm.
not normal for us. We've had
Right.
10 plus years of shit, and now we're getting wins where we're like, holy hell, we're dominating. And it was over in the first quarter. So it's
And
fun to
think of
see. Sorry, go ahead.
this is what's really interesting to me. The Bucks historically are 20 and 40 versus the Chicago Bears. It's crazy. They just don't win. The Bears always, continuously have our number. There was like a 12 game stretch, or yeah, 12 game stretch where the Bears just beat the Bucks back in the 80s, and it's been consistently the Bears have always been that team, and you kind of revert back to your thinking of how the Bucks have been over the past decade, and everybody does it at some point. I mean, for me, watching that, pregame, I was like, man, you got to watch out for the Bears because they always give the Bucks a challenge, regardless of who's on under center. They just do.
Yeah, what was funny is Plus actually was on a Bears podcast during the week, and he gave them a little too much credit. Even they were like, "You're giving us way too much credit. You guys are going to beat the crap out of us." Plus, thought it was going to be competitive. I mean, every game usually is competitive. Look at the Eagles; they
Yeah.
were competitive against us. So we usually allow things because our banged up secondary. We'll talk about that later, but I mean, they all played well. I mean, you can't get mad at that. Yes, we faced a rookie quarterback. The front seven did their damn thing getting in there. Even Antoine Winfield getting a sack, strip fumble. I mean, everyone played kind of their thing. There were still little pieces that I'm going to argue about, but I mean, let's just jump into it. Let's first look
Sure.
at the points 38 points. Tom Brady goes for 4 touchdowns, three of them to Mike Evans. 600th touchdown goes into the stands. Some guy gets lucky. Probably should have kept it, got a $500,000, but he's nice enough. But I mean, so to me, is what I want to say. Great, we moved the ball when we had to. We scored points, but sometimes we missed a field goal inside the red zone. We didn't convert on the Rojo touchdown. There's always going to be a negative Nancy. That's going to be me. And Tom Brady with his 20 for 36, that's not good. 211 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was inaccurate this game. I think I can surely tell you he was upset with himself. Missed OJ wide open in the end zone on one pass. It was just inaccuracy, and we still won this lopsided. So either way, you win, but there's things we got to clean up on offense. What'd you think of our offense?
Oh, I love the offense. I love what they did. Mike Evans. We keep hearing that man's name, and he's on, what is he, like 508 yards away from getting 1,000, and he'll be sitting there by himself. He's just. I think when Tom Brady broke the last record, the passing record, Mike Evans caught that ball, and it's just kind of fitting that Mike Evans is the one that catches the touchdown for that 600 passing TD. I love Mike Evans. I just have, and he's just a very important part of this team. And I think we're kind of fortunate when that Mike Evans came in when he did, getting to be under Vincent Jackson, and learning a little bit under Vincent Jackson, and that just is carried on throughout his career. And I can't say enough good things about him. But just talking about the rest of the offense, there were some miscues. There were some things that I know that it looked like the offense was working on situational football and trying plays out or something like that as on the back end of the game. But to me, I just they when they needed to play, they needed to score the points, they did, and I think that's what counted. Where those points were needed, they ended up getting them.
Yeah, I mean, as we know, we do all these film studies, so we're going to be critical. We're going to point out little things here and there, and people who literally are the GOATs bandwagoner will be like, "How are you going to say that?" The man's critical of himself. I guarantee he's way worse than himself than we ever will be. So it's just the facts. I mean, 211 yards is not a Tom Brady game when you think he scored 38 points.
But you got to consider how many times they were on the short end of the field, though.
I knew you were going to say that. But either way, I mean, there's times where we should have been moving the ball easily. Like, easily. There was third down conversions that we should have had, third and ones, or just drops. I feel like every time he goes to Brady, it's either an inaccurate pass or a drop by Brady. So I don't understand what that connection's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on.
It'll get better. That's all. It's all. I mean, you're winning. You're winning games. You're still running into issues. I think they still haven't had that defining game yet, like they did against Chicago last year, or the game against the Rams. Those defining games where they said, "Hey, we need to get ourselves in gear and get this going." They just haven't had those games. This game coming up might be that, but I don't want to get too far ahead.
No. Hopefully they don't have that. The Rams should have already been that. Like they were probably again. There's no undefeated season, guys. We have one loss. That should have been the slap in the face. This isn't just going to be a steamroll. Every team's going to prepare for us. We're the Super Bowl champs, defending Super Bowl champs. You're going to get the A game from everyone. So you can't expect anyone to just lay on their back and just take it. So that's one big thing. But also offensively, I know that you're going to give them a whole bunch of praise as well. The offensive line, they're going against the defense that allows that got the most sacks in the league. That's more than Cleveland Browns that sacked Fields 10 times in one damn game. The Browns or the Bears know how to get after the quarterback. Did they get Tom Brady once? Not at all. Why? Because Donovan Smith, Tristan Wirfs, Kappa, Jensen, Marpet, they were all doing their damn thing. And even at the end of the game, Donnie Smith says, "Oh, I made 99 my boy," or something like my baby or something like that. So,
yeah,
I mean,
and you didn't hear from was Khalil Mack, was he on PTO or did he even show up? I mean, did he make the trip?
Did he even play? That's something I was like, wait, did he even play?
Yeah, he was out there. He was out there.
Yeah, he got one tackle.
Yeah.
One damn tackle.
And again, Tristan Wirfs, everybody was talking about that one play, but they didn't talk about the entire game, how Tristan Wirfs played, as a rookie, and he's just continued to get better.
I mean, and that's something where we've always been defending of Donovan Smith. I mean, yes, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer, likely, and he should honestly have had some Pro Bowls. It's not his fault. Within the play, quarterback's got to get rid of the ball. It's got to be a 3, 4, 5, 7-step drop, get the ball out. You can't hold the ball forever and then expect the left tackle to hold it for 5 to 7 seconds. It's just not possible.
No,
so
it's not.
And now he's getting his confidence up. He's actually looking good because the guy behind him is actually doing his job too. So that's one thing we got hated on all the time for because we're defending Donovan Smith. The dude does his job when given the amount of time he's supposed to hold a guy up for.
And we're not even talking about pass blocking. When he gets the wheels going and he's pass blocking, he's a monster.
I mean, run blocking?
Yeah, run blocking. Excuse me, run blocking. Sorry.
He destroys people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he doesn't get credit for that either.
No, he's just a big fat slob, supposedly, to every Bucs fan. So that's something funny. So during the game, hear this from a different perspective. As a Buc fan, all I hear from fellow Buccaneer fans, our offensive line sucks. Tom Brady's making them look like gold. Okay. In comes Bears fan. It felt like it was 50-50 during the game yesterday. And what do they say? You guys got, and they're an accent. I can't do the accent. I have too much of a country accent. He's like, always got I didn't like Irish or some shit. So you guys got an incredible offensive line, giving Brady all day to throw. I can't believe it. You guys are lucky. That's why he chose Tampa Bay. I'm like, you shitting me? Yeah, have you talked to anyone else around you? Like, they would think our offensive line sucks ass. It's the worst position group in our damn team, and it's a wash. And Tom Brady just saving all of us. It's funny to see it from the opposite side. So funny.
Yeah, and I think we're spoiled. I mean, when you look at the depth on the offensive line and what they're doing, it's exciting. It's exciting to see that. This is, I've you've been on our show. I mean, when me and Plus would come on and we would talk about it, and eventually we wanted to see depth on this team, and we just hadn't seen it. And again, it's just something that it's a great thing to see right now.
I'll say this: I'd still be scared if Donovan Smith or Wirfs did go down. I still don't want to see Wells out there or Seaton or anyone else at our blind side or right tackle. I mean, Hainsey is drafted, but we'll see. I saw him out
Yeah.
there blocking. I mean,
He still
on
needs
the
a little
sideline.
bit of he needs
Right.
time.
Oh yeah, but I mean, hopefully they're given the time. Like, hopefully they can mature slowly. But I mean, either way, that the front five right now, they need recognition that they never get. So I just wanted to kind of say that. And then this man continues to show up. Leonard Fournette. Plus says all day Lenny now. All
No, he's
season,
LSU. He's LSU Lenny.
whatever it is. I
Yeah.
love it. I mean, continuously, look at this 5.5. Blew it. 5.5 yards per carry. Even Rojo over there getting 6.4 per carry. I mean, it's nothing but good things all around when you look at the numbers. Let me bring it back up since I ruined it. 6.3 for Rojo, 81 for all season Lenny, and a touchdown. They just couldn't be stopped. And then, not to mention, Lenny again over here catching balls. Didn't run over anyone yet, but still successful, productive when the ball's in his hands. I mean, the Bucs overall, their run game, pass game, everything was really balanced. What do you think about that?
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, that's what you want. You want to be able to control the clock, and especially on the back end of the game, you especially want to control the clock. And you want to keep that defense off the field as much as possible. Considering they're still contending with injuries and stuff. So it's most definitely you want that run game to work to some capacity, and this we don't want to get into the old wives' tale of establish the run because the Bucks run when they want to. The Bucks don't run because they need to. They run when they want to because that passing game is so effective. So again, there's so much talent on this team that it's like pick your poison.
And so that's a debate. Like, Plus and I have a lot of our running game. I guess it's actually cool that he's not here, so we can have this open discussion. So we both agree that you got to run out of formations that don't look like a run, whether it is an end around to Darden, which he did get and got 11 yards out of, whether it's the end around to Godwin, which they've done in the past. They've made him go in motion. They just don't hand him the damn ball. Or it's running out of shotgun where things are cleared out. So it's an easier read for the running back and
Speed
pulling
and
guys,
space.
right? Speed and space is all it is. Use your weapons to your advantage. They're decoys. That's all they are.
Hmm.
Same thing why you get Gio Bernard wide open in the flats because everyone's too busy guarding the three outs, right? Three deep wide receivers. So you can't cover everything. So use that to your advantage. I feel like they don't do that enough, but they're slowly starting to integrate that. And I'm very happy they're doing that. And just Fournette actually getting the confidence, actually running aggressively, not stutter stepping the
Yeah,
second
he's
he gets
running.
the ball in his
He's
hand.
punishing people too.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that that's happening. And then Rojo, I got to say it, Plus is going to piss at me. Building his trade value, Plus said. This is Plus's words. Building that trade value. So the trade deadline's November 2nd. That's coming up. Everyone
He ain't
thinks
going
he's the shit
nowhere.
to go. Yeah, right? But
No, you
that's the
can't.
big thing. He can't.
You
Wait,
can't.
well,
You can't trade him.
weren't you just talking up Keyshawn Vaughn though?
Oh, absolutely. For next year.
Ah, okay. That's
Oh,
true.
absolutely. Oh, and this is the point right here. If Leonard Fournette goes down, and we know that he has had some injury issues in the past, you still have a Ronald Jones in there and a Gio Bernard, and I think that Gio is kind of helping Rojo a little bit as far as what he needs to do and what are his assignments. Um, Again, he's not a good blocker. We know that, and he's not a good pass catcher, but you hand him the ball off, he's gonna move the sticks. He's gonna move the pile, and you're just gonna continue to go downfield. He's not dancing in the
Yeah.
backfield, but he's the decisive runner. He is a running back.
See a hole, hit a hole. He doesn't really think about it.
Exactly.
I mean, it's how it should be, especially with, and the hole is going to be filled up quick. And it's either you get there or you run over the guy that's in it. And sometimes Fournette doesn't do that. Luckily, he's changing the goal line runs. I almost felt like Fournette should have been in there on that 4th and 1 on the goal line.
Well,
Based on how
I
he's been
think,
running.
yeah, and we don't know if he's on a snap count or what they're doing there, or if they're just trying to eat clock, or there's a whole bunch of things that could be going on at that point. Um, I took it as they're not trying to run up the score. They're not running some sexy formation where they're trying to score on you. They're just running plays, and to me that looked like situational football to me.
Yeah. And so that kind of adds to this point. Andrew over here in the comments said they could have easily scored 60 points yesterday, just running the ball. Who called off the Hounds? Runners stoned at the goal line. I don't think so. Tim, I don't think he's saying Tom, but they could have easily scored 60 regardless. I mean, it was
Right.
21-0 in the first quarter, not first half. I mean, they could have had 40 at halftime. It's a lot of it. I'm going to stay to this. I mean, Tom Brady wasn't the most accurate. I mean, that is not a Tom Brady day, even though it's 4 touchdowns. Call it how you see it. That was not a normal day for Tom.
And I'm not making excuses, but Tom was on a short field a lot of the time. And Tom is not normally on a short field since he's been here, really. But it's like they were getting turnovers and they were playing on a short field. And I don't know. Does that affect you?
Short field? Well,
Yeah.
man, with the use of the short fields, we scored. I mean,
Hmm.
it's more. Don't get me wrong; he had some great ass throws, like the deep
Yeah.
pass to Mike Evans, flawless, perfect.
Yeah.
The throw to get Chris Godwin inside the 5 before Fournette actually scored the first touchdown, or the Mike Evans scored the second touchdown, flawless. I mean, perfect placement. I mean, he had some great ass throws, which he normally does, but it wasn't as consistent as Tom usually is. Usually, it's like 1 or 2 bad throws a game. This was like 8 to 10 almost. If it seemed like, I mean, some of them were even almost picked off. So that's the scary part about it. But if there's one guy I know it's going to clean up everything, it's Tom. And I feel like he almost was pressing in this game because he wanted to win so bad from last year. It was almost similar to what the hell happened in the Patriots game. He pressed because I got to win this. It's almost an emotional thing attached to
Right.
it
Right.
instead of a business like usual. And that's when Tom maybe had a little something.
Yeah. So again, it's one of those things that I know they're going to clean this up. We still have a lot of football to be played. The Bucs haven't even reached the bye week yet. Big game next week, and the Bucs are going out there and winning games that they're supposed to win. And there
Hell yeah.
are some, huh?
I said, hell yeah. Hell yeah, they are. They're finally winning the games they should win. Like the Dolphins, Eagles, Chicago. Those are all games they should have won.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. No, I like what I'm seeing out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I don't have like these super high expectations that the Bucs were going to go undefeated or the Bucs were just going to run everybody out of the gym. And you mentioned this earlier. Everybody the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will face, they're looking at it as we're facing the defending world champions. We're going to go in and punch them in the mouth if we can. And
Yeah,
that's the mindset of every single team that the Buccaneers are going to face this season. And we have to enjoy being the defending world champions and being able to go out and play and only losing to a team that's favored to make it to the playoffs in the Rams. And the Bucs are doing their thing. So as long as they continue to do this and clean up on their mistakes, clean up on turnovers, clean up on penalties, and that kind of thing. Those things that you should clean up in preseason, but you still see them. Those are things they need to clean up. But I like what the Bucs are doing, and they're progressively getting better. And the fact that your secondary is totally decimated, and you're still a 6-1 team, says a lot about the coaching and a lot about the depth that they have at secondary.
absolutely. Especially okay. We'll touch the defense after one more thing on offense.
Oh, sorry, I
Let's
didn't mean to get ahead of myself.
No, you're good. You're more than good. Let's talk about them wide receivers. Chris Godwin had himself a day, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. Then Mike Evans over here was 76 yards, 3 touchdowns, gets 600, like you mentioned earlier. And then it's getting some guys involved, like TJ over here, 2 catches, 16 yards, had 1
Oh, yeah, nice
first down
catch.
conversion. But really, it was mainly the 2 big boys, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, doing their thing. And I literally loved the back shoulder throw and the inside the 5 to Chris Godwin he had, and then literally just throwing Mike Evans open. Like the one that was back shoulder fade, he threw it before any of the receiver or defensive back were even ready. He's just throwing guys open that sometimes with that, damn it, Brady, what the hell? Like, how are you a wizard like this? So, yes, I love Tom Brady. Don't get me wrong. I'm just very critical when it comes to finding those little areas that we need to fix going into the playoffs, because this is a playoff team. Super Bowl contender is what we should be, not just, oh, we're trying to win games. Big difference.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've looked at other teams that continually go to the playoffs on a regular basis, and they're happy just to be in the playoffs. The fact that the Bucs have gone to the Super Bowl, they know what's possible. Their focus is they're all in right now. This is what the Bucs are going to do, and I know with Tom Brady under center, they're going to continue to get better. I mean, there's and can't wait till we get to the defensive side of the ball. But with offense, I'm happy with what they've done. They've done what we expected them to do this year. They've carried the load at times. With all the injuries, they've carried the load. So uh, I'm good with where they are, and I think they're going to continue to improve.
I mean, especially with all these young guys getting time and just reps, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna plug my computer in real quick.
Yeah, good. So I'll address this question really fast. MD Peel, are the 2021 Bucs comparable to the '07 Pats? So to me, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I see Randy Moss, Wes Welker. I think we're just so more well-rounded, and guys aren't. I mean, you would think Mike Evans would have had a Randy Moss season this year. I guess he's looking at on the touchdowns, but the yards aren't there. He's probably still going to get a 1,000-yard season. To me, it's more we're just so damn well-rounded. Tom Brady may break every record in the books possible.
But
I mean,
if you go right now and look at everybody's stats,
yeah,
if AB were playing, I'm sure they would all be the same.
yeah.
The yards are all balanced out. The yards are very. I mean, if you look last week, I think there was like
That's
11 yards difference between all your top 3 receivers. But if AB gets in here, these players are all balanced out, and I really believe that they're going to get their touches as the season goes on, and we have a lot of ball to be played, to be honest. So this is going to be great to see how they progress with this.
Oh, so let me ask you this, guys. Who do you think is the leading receiver for the Bucs right now? Who has the most yards? Who do you think? Gene, who do you think? Guys in the chat.
I would say Chris Godwin.
Chris Godwin's your answer? Chris Godwin is the answer. 520 yards for Chris Godwin. Look how close this is. 520 Godwin, 418 AB, 496 Mike Evans.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're balanced.
Season, all 3 of them probably going to get 1,000 yards. So it's insane. I mean, Fournette's over here 222. Think about it.
They're spreading the ball around.
Right? So it's awesome to see when you see that. Like, that's why I was kind of saying Randy Moss had such a massive season. Wes Welker had catches. I don't know if he had the crazy yards that Randy Moss had. But, I mean, it's just so spread out. It's not just one guy is balling out, but Brady's just putting up numbers left and right. I mean, this is ridiculous. 21-3, 7 games in. I'll take it. Yeah. 67 completion percentage. I'll take it. Seats taken.
So you think he goes over 5,000 this year?
I think so. I honestly think so. And that's going to be what? Is it only his second time doing that? I think.
Yeah. Didn't he get it? He hit it last year, didn't he?
No. No, 4,600. Yeah, he had that 5,200 in 2011. So that's only the first time he did it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, he's going to do that with an extra game. Our offense, the way it is, the way it's humming right now.
Brady, the stereotypical spread the love. Tom Brady spread the love. I think Andrew Zanis hit the nail on the head. 9 receivers yesterday. Nine different receivers. I love it.
Yeah.
And
And
again, it's like that's a defensive coordinator nightmare right there. Like, who do you focus on? What do you focus on? And you've got somebody that can distribute the ball. That's a problem.
you got the best game manager in the league for the past 21 years. So yeah, I'll take that. And then you have weapons up the ass all over the place. And it's pick your poison. Where are you going to go? You don't know. I mean, and then OJ Howard only had 1 catch for 9 yards after a game where he blew up like 6 catches
They didn't
almost.
need
Yeah, right. I mean,
him.
he did have that wide open area.
Yeah.
Tom Brady missed him. I'm gonna say it again. But hey, here's what it is. We still won the damn game, slaughtered them, 38-3. I'm being a stickler, guys. Call me out on it if you want to, but it is what it is.
Bro, you got to be enjoying. You got to enjoy this. You will never see anything like this again.
Oh yeah, I am. We
And
thoroughly
yeah,
enjoyed last
I
year
get
too.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I mean, when you had a team where you had a suspect quarterback and you didn't know what you really had on your offense, it was different. But you have somebody now, you're always in the game. You're always in the game. So
You better check your sheet.
Uh, hey, I know we're in every game. Tom Brady's he's going to do his thing. Everyone knows that. Doesn't matter if you're a Buccaneer fan, a Cleveland fan, a Bears fan. You know what Tom Brady has done over the course of his career consistently. I love seeing it. I'm loving the ride. That's just the part of me that is just that's what we do. We break it down. We break down the
Yeah.
film, and there's never going to be a perfect game. But if there's one guy to do it, I think Tom Brady would be it. Let's just be honest with that. That's why I was even thinking this slim of hope that maybe 17-0 was a possibility. You never know. Probably wasn't. But let's go over to the big boys, the defense, the injury riddled side of the ball, and I guess the part of the team that you want to talk about the most. So the defense held the Chicago Bears with a rookie quarterback to 3 points. To 3 damn points. Got about think about that. 3 damn points. No touchdowns, sacks, 4 sacks, 5 turnovers, I believe. Lit it up. So I'll let you take it away. What do you want to talk about with the defense? How good were they, and where do you want to hang their hat?
Hey, they were getting pressure on the quarterback. Vita Vea was doing what he does. Uh, a guy that it frustrates me that people had anything negative to say about him is Shaq Barrett. Shaq Barrett has been balling all year. You may not see it in your box score to the box score coaches out there. You may not see it, but there has been plays he's been making away from the ball. He's making your quarterback uncomfortable. He's just been playing consistently good all year. But now you're really starting to see it start to show. And, he's kind of turned it up a notch. And all you have to do is go back a couple of years. Go back to 2018 or 2017 and look at that defensive line compared to what we have now and how these guys are playing. And these guys are real playmakers. And it's just exciting to see that. Tony Romo told an interesting story about Vita Vea. With Vita Vea having the ankle injury, JPP told him there's a possibility that you can come back and get into the playoffs. And Vita Vea actually worked, he listened, there's so much veteran depth here with Shaq Barrett, with, Shaq Barrett and JPP and players like Levante David, that these players are really benefiting from them. But it's kind of getting back to my point here. Just the defense all was very well rounded. I loved the play of Devon White as well. I thought Devon White did a great job, just how he played. And when we look at where he was last year compared to where he is today, he's really made some huge steps. So shout out to that D line and the linebacker core. Kevin Minter. And I know you saw plays from Kevin Minter, but people weren't happy with the move bringing him in. But it's paid dividends again with the injury to Levante David.
No, I mean, I'll say this. So the defensive line, they truly did ball out. Like we hear TB12 man said, I mean, give credit to JPP, all the haters out there. The dude did it with one damn hand. He had 2 sacks with one hand. He knocked
And
the
a
ball
shoulder.
out with
And
the club
what do
and
you
a
have
rotator cuff tear in his hand too. He punched the ball out with the club and got a sack fumble. And that was recovered. And then I don't know what the hell Shaq Barrett was doing. I don't know how that wasn't a flag. Was it intentional lateral behind his head? Went like 10 yards, and then Devon White almost ran it in. But like they were balling out that front seven. Yeah, the unsung heroes, Vita Vea, Plus and I talk him up left and right. He was our guy in the draft.
Mine too. Remember?
It was freaking phenomenal. And this guy's done nothing but produce every year. He just doesn't get the numbers. But he's a guy throwing guys around, having guys like JVP, Shaq, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka all benefit. Devon White, Levante, who's behind him, benefit. Sue is another guy right here, MD Peel. Another guy who makes plays, but just being in the mix. He's tossing guys around.
Yeah.
You wonder why we're so good in the running game. I'm glad we didn't do that well in the running game because we're being more balanced now. But my biggest thing with the defense, they're playing their scheme correctly. I was the biggest guy, like, angry at Shaq Barrett last year because he didn't cover his zones, his short little zones. They've been making him drop back so damn much this year. He does it perfectly with, like, flawless precision. And that's what people don't see. They don't see the sacks. Like, oh, he's not producing. They've asked him to drop back so damn much. And every time he does, he's in the right spot. They're not giving away
that's what I'm saying. These are box score coaches, people that are looking at the stats. Yes, stats are, sacks are sexy. I get that. You love hearing about sacks, but I'm good with pressures. I'm good with falling back into coverage. I'm good with all that as long as you're doing your job and you're preventing the other team from taking advantage of a mistake. I do not see where, there's an issue. You're playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, or it was designed for you to play.
And that's just it. Just do your job, play the scheme how it's supposed to be played. People get so mad that we're dropping. I at times get mad that we drop at Vita Vea or Sue randomly covering the middle, but it's because Devon White or Levante are going in. Where a man leaves, someone else has to cover it. Or you're just doing cover zero and you're saying, oh, good luck. Either we get in or we're shit out of luck.
And this tells you how athletic your defensive linemen are, because you're able to drop them back in coverage. JTS running down, I forgot who he ran down yesterday, but just the speed. I think it was the quarterback, wasn't it? I think it may have been.
He got Herbert from behind. I think he got Fields from behind too.
Yeah. So, again, just shout out to Jason Light for the talent evaluation and the rest of the coaching staff, but getting the right guys in here, and they're all flourishing under this system.
I just love the cohesiveness of it. And like you mentioned, Kevin Minter filling in. Yeah, he filled in outstanding. Kevin Minter over here. Kevin Minter filled outstanding. The thing is, he did that well. There's a huge leaps and bounds difference between him and Levante David. It's astronomically huge. But the guy just did his job. Levante is the one that causes fumbles, has potential to get interceptions, like game-breaking plays. Minter's just doing his job. That's all we really needed him to do in this little span. If he comes back, I think MD Peel was saying it earlier. I mean, almost everyone on the offense. Here it is. I think it is. AB said Gronk, David, and possibly Sherman could be back this week. That'd be insane.
Oh, they're ready for this Saints game. This is a division game. I'd be shocked if they weren't trying to make something happen like that.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, defensively, let's give D. Delaney some credit. He got his first career interception. Don't know what the hell Fields is doing. Just he gets out of a sack from JVP, which could have been his third sack, and he just lofts the ball into air, and D. Delaney scoops it up and runs it down the field. So I was happy with him. Jamel Dean, 7 tackles. How the hell did he get 7 tackles?
Jordan Whitehead.
Whitehead, I love Whitehead in the box. Plus and I have been calling for him to be that 4th linebacker. Since people don't want to run the ball, they just want to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. Have him be that extra linebacker where it's a short pass ability. Take away that short pass and don't go all out against the run no more. Just have Whitehead kind of be that short little area where he can be a linebacker and drop back at the same time. But go ahead after I interrupted you.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. Just looking at some of these things, Devon White, 10 tackles, 8 solo. I mean, 1 tackle for loss. He's balling. Antoine Winfield Jr. Gets a sack and a forced fumble. I mean, this is the kind of production you want. And you can say whatever you want to about the Chicago Bears. They're short staffed or whatever. It's still an NFL team that came into play in a professional football game, and you have to bring your best. So yeah, the Tampa went out and did what they were supposed to do, and I just hope they can continue this. I hope they're motivated and ready for this next game up, because these games, as we're going down the stretch, are very important.
So also MDP over here. Shout out to his Iowa guy, Anthony Nelson. Got
Oh
him real
yeah,
late. Got 2 solo tackles. And a guy that's literally unsung hero. He does his job. He's really good in the running game. Gets some pressures here and there. He's more pushing the pocket. But I mean, overall, they're playing the scheme the way it's supposed to be played, especially when you don't have your main guy like Levante David, who is a big splash playmaker. And Devon White, you haven't been hearing big splash plays, but he's still hitting the stat sheet. 8 tackles, two assists, 1 tackle for loss. May not be getting the sacks everyone wants, but he's still doing his job.
again, those are box scores. That's all tangible stuff you're talking about. But when you look at the game overall, like you guys break down the all 22, you guys look at more plays away from the ball than you do where the ball is. And folks, I always encourage this. If you're watching the game and you're really trying to learn a little bit more about it, look at where players are lined up away from the ball and look at who they match up against, and just kind of keep an eye on certain things and not always look where the ball is going. I know that's part of the game, and we're like programmed to see where the ball goes, but it makes the game a whole lot more interesting when you can look at a scheme and see how people are lined up. If they're in like cover 3 or cover 2 or single high safety, it just depends on what the play entails, but it makes the game so much more interesting when you can look at things away from where the ball is or where the play is, because there are certain things that do set up the big play that we may not see because people are focused on where the ball is.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's you get even more heated in the game because like you'll see little things that you're like, why the hell did they do that? Like, or why did that guy not complete the play? Why did he not continue moving on? Like a wide receiver stops in a route or cuts a route short, or a wide receiver's blocking your defender. Like a natural pick. No, it's not a natural pick. He literally grabbed the guy and pushed you out of the way. So you get mad at these little things where you're like, otherwise, and a casual fan like, oh, it's a huge gainer. Yeah, but they didn't cheat. Like the Rams did against us left and right. I've got pissed as shit. And you see Levante David scream at the refs and nothing. But that's a loss. Let's move forward.
Yeah, there you go.
But overall, Bucs defense, they're doing their thing. Defensive line seems healthy, getting healthy. JPP, I love the club. Can't wait to everyone's full force on that side of the ball. I mean, let's see if Sherman comes back. He was a damn coach. He was a coach.
How did you feel about that? I mean, having a guy, and I had somebody question Sherman's intelligence, and I'm like, the dude went to Stanford. I mean, he's working on his master's degree at one time, and you're questioning this man's intelligence. I think he would be a great coach. I've always thought he had a high football IQ, even though I think that whole Wonderlic test is trash because I scored a 35 and I shouldn't have scored a 35. But it is what it is. It's stupid.
It's stupid. Well, I mean, he's a smart dude.
He is. He really is.
I was joking. I'm like, how the hell are you going to have the guy that's newest on the team teaching the other guy's defensive scheme? But he probably wasn't doing that. He's probably just doing technique, like using his years of experience in this technique, in this scheme, use this technique. Like if they're asking you to do this, this is how you're supposed to do it better. That's probably what he was doing.
But what's interesting? MD Peel brought up a great point here. Arians loves to give people opportunities to coach. We've seen this, and he's gone on record saying this. When you look at his huge coaching staff, there are a lot of people that he's grooming to be a head coach, to have that large coaching tree, and he's another coach. That's another facet of the Buccaneers team organization that we may never see again somebody like a Bruce Arians that's able to come in and do things like that. When we look at all the gross mismanagement that we've had to deal with over the years, and you look at where we are right now, you have to really appreciate this. And I know I keep saying that, sound like a broken record, but I'm serious. This is big because we've never experienced this. This is unprecedented.
And the things that they're doing too. The first women on staff. They
Yeah.
have a PT literally on staff. They have, like you just mentioned, players that are coaches. And you can list off like Antoine Randall last season.
Yeah.
Our linebackers coach, forgot his name, linebacker for Pittsburgh for years. Cody Graham is a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just giving these guys opportunities.
Is it Scott? Is Scott Coach Scott? That's the cornerbacks coach, right?
Kevin Ross is their
Kevin Ross. Yeah, Kevin Ross. Sorry.
Kevin Ross is another player, but yeah, there's another player. Byron Leftwich, our damn QB's coach.
Yeah.
Player. So all
Lord
these
Byron.
guys, Lord Byron. Hey, I'll be honest, he's calling a better game. There's a lot of play actions in there. He's doing better. That was one big thing where is he? He's not in the chat. That always got mad. He's like, is Leftwich going to ruin Brady this year? Hey, they've learned. They're doing things right. I mean, the mojo's working together. So let's keep it going.
Hey, Andrew's right. Why not use him as a coach if you're paying him to rehab?
Who?
Andrew Zanis was saying, why not use them as a coach if you're paying him to rehab?
Yeah, right. He's going to get paid regardless. Why the hell not? But so also let's hit on some of the special teams. Jalen Darden, big ass return. You see Rashard Robinson getting a tackle, huge tackle on special teams. I mean, let's get some of the unsung heroes on this one. What do you see?
Oh, absolutely. Jalen Darden surprised me. I've heard people talking about him. I had not gotten to see him, whether it was camp or preseason. I didn't really get to see enough of him to know what to expect. But he's a deliberate runner. He's not back there dancing around. He finds a hole and, that's where he's going. And that's kind of what you need. And he's got speed for days. And I think that, in the future, he will be, if he can stay healthy, he'll be a huge asset for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on down the road as well.
He brings a different type of ability we don't really have.
And we haven't had for a long time.
Yeah.
Why has it been an issue for the Bucs to get a good kickoff returner? I mean, historically, it just has not. Carl Williams,
Clifton Smith,
Clifton Smith,
Spurlock.
Michael Spurlock. That's the guy I was thinking about, Spurlock. But just very rare, far few and in between. And you look at teams like Kansas City or Chicago, Seattle, always find good kick returners, and they're very good at doing that. So it's one of those things that I just don't understand it. Historically, the Bucs have just struggled with that type of thing.
I feel like they just don't even address it though. They don't get guys that you saw in college they could do it. They don't really do that. I mean, what do you expect? You're hoping a guy can do it. Darden wasn't even a returner. He just has the ability to make you miss and get upfield quick. His three cone was incredible. His speed and space is insane. I have the top end, but he gets the top end real fast. That's what's amazing about him. I just feel like people pigeonholed us to be bigger wide receivers, and now BA is like, no, well, we got so many things. Where else can we damage people and inflict pain just based off of
them?
other gadget plays here and there? I mean, the end around of Darden, I think that's just the beginning of what they're going to start unfolding with him as he gains confidence and learns the playbook. So I think he's going to be a huge, huge weapon later in the road, whether it be this year or in the future.
Yep. I totally agree. So, I think it's going to be a great game. I love what I saw from the special teams. They were getting tackles, they were getting stops, and people weren't breaking through that second level, and that's encouraging to me because if you guys know, I think I've been on your show preseason, and I said my concern was special teams, getting those tackles, getting those stops, keeping your offense, keeping the opposing offense on a long field where they have to go a long way down the field, not letting them run to the 50 and then giving them a short field. So I've been very pleasantly surprised with what's been going on, and I hope this just continues to improve as we go.
Yeah, I think they heard Plus one live stream. Plus called the special teams in a hole a cold sore.
Oh
Straight up
yeah.
called it a cold sore. I said, "Shit, Plus, that's bad." That's the worst I've ever heard them being called. Ever
Yeah.
since then, they've been doing pretty damn well. I mean, yes, I was pissed off. Ryan Suckup missed a kind of a 43-yard field goal.
Hey, I'm team suck up, man. You can't don't those things happen. He
Yeah,
he
I
rebounded.
have fantasy football, so I wanted
He
him
he
to.
re- he's rebounded and done quite well for himself. So it's my guy. It's team
Oh,
suck up.
he's Mr. Dependable. He won us the Cowboys game, fair and square.
Oh,
Let's be honest.
absolutely.
So I mean, he has the veins, the ice veins when you need it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I mean, good team win overall. Defense performed ridiculously well. Couldn't believe that. Offensively, we all know what I thought about Tom Brady. He still got his numbers, but hey, we won 38-3.
Yeah.
But
You can't. I mean, there are things that need to improve, but this is one of those games you can enjoy the win.
I guess I heard you talk about it a little bit earlier. Might as well get it off your chest. This next game we got coming up on Halloween is against someone that's very familiar for Buccaneer fans, and it's the New Orleans Saints. So, what do you think is going to go on? Do you think it's going to be a close game? Do you think there's going to be a lot of emotions?
Oh,
And how do you think the
absolutely.
results going to be?
Absolutely. I mean, the Bucks went into their house and sent them home for the playoffs. I'm sure they want to get back about that. They want some payback on that because New Orleans has pretty much consistently had the Bucks number, uh, since we've been in the division together. And this is a winnable game. This is truly a winnable game. I'm not 100% sold on Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is a blessing and a curse. I said that when he was in Tampa, and I'm going to continue to stand by that. The lack of consistency we see from him, and I know that his emotions are going to be running high. So I think what's important right now is that Sean Payton, rein him in. Let's run the ball. Let's run the ball and short passes or whatever, but don't try to put the ball in Jameis's hands to do things unless you really have to. But again, I just what you've seen from him over these past few seasons, the 5 seasons when he was here. If a player shows you who he is, believe it, and that's kind of how I feel about Jameis Winston. I think he will be a decent quarterback in the league, but just I still question his decision making. When he was here in Tampa, I didn't speak very much about it, but now that we've looked at his body of work and we've looked at what he's done in New Orleans, I think he can put up big numbers. But at the
All right.
same time, can he consistently get you through the playoffs against more elite defenses as he comes along? I still see him having trouble with reading defenses at times.
The thing is, could you expect him to win 4 straight games in the playoffs to get you to that ring? Like
No,
that's the thing against
no.
the top of the top defenses or game planning against you. Could he do it 4 consistent games? And that's where it's like that's where the big decision came. Like, can they
Yeah.
expect him to do that? Probably not. The Saints now they're trying to do the same thing because whether you like it or not, he does have every ability that you want in a quarterback.
Absolutely.
So I expect him
And
to have
again,
yards against us.
we were all on board with Jameis Winston when he was here, and Jameis Winston arguably has almost every measurable passing record that in Bucks history. Just being here, just with what he's done, and you can't take that away from him. He is a good quarterback, but I just question his decision making, and I just don't think he's that guy.
Yeah, but let's be honest. I think he's still going to get put up yards against our defense. The injury riddled secondary, whether Sherman plays or not, he's still He came off the couch. He got hurt in his first game back. If he does play after getting hurt, Jameis Winston knows our defense as well. So there's things that can help him out, but still, he's going to force the ball. We're going to force issues. He may have a 450-yard game, but with like 3 or 4 interceptions. You don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know. Bud
either way,
Cannabis, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I love Bud. Bud's in there.
Bud, he knows his football too. I love talking with him.
Right? If we shut that down, we'll own them. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, Kamaro's over 100 yards, I think, right now.
Let's see what's Pro Football Focus saying.
Please let Kamara get shut down. This time, you know what? Put all hands on deck, stopping the run, stop their stupid little screen passes, and make Jameis Winston beat you. I mean, that's going to be the big storyline. He's probably going to put up numbers, I just said, but let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and I think this is a different game if you have Russell Wilson. Geno Smith is definitely not the answer. Cam Newton should have been – they should have been on the phone with Cam Newton at least.
Just mention that.
It's crazy. But, I think eventually I'm seeing Cam Newton will end up on a team this year somewhere. And just how I see it.
What's still crazy is so Zach Wilson went down in the Jets, and they traded for Joe Flacco.
Flacco. I know.
Right?
That guy is so washed.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't understand it. The guy was an MVP not that long ago.
But maybe they just don't want the clashing heads with their top pick. Don't let them think, there's going to be a competition because Joe Flacco is just so washed, I guess.
I guess that's true.
All right. Roll into the chat. Sorry I'm late, but Brady this week, boys. Holy shit burgers. All right. Well, from what it sounds like, people think I hate Brady, which is totally not the case.
Yeah.
There's little things you need to clean up in this game. You could have had even more. Cam is a broken quarterback. I think he's talking about Cam Brate for a moment, but yeah.
Newton.
Yeah, Cam Newton. But
Alvin Kamara has a 109 yards receiving.
Yep. I just saw that.
Yeah, because
how many screens are that?
Jameis Winston has 27 yards rushing. He's like 2 yards behind Kamara. Yeah, but that's not the same Seahawks defense that we saw in years past. So
it is what it is. I mean, I guarantee those are all little screen passes, short passes. I mean, 8 catches, 109 yards at the half. That's insane. Yeah. That's their offense. Just shut him down, put Devon White on him, and let's see what else they can run. Oops.
Yep. Because I'm looking. Yeah. Marcus Callaway. Alvin Kamara is the offense.
Yeah. I mean, good luck. It's not just that.
It's interesting when you look at McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey.
Gene, you're kind of going in and out right now.
Yeah. And being
frozen. I think he was talking about Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. I think it was more the receiving threats and staying healthy because Christian McCaffrey can't stay healthy at all.
I just don't know how many more years he has left. He can't stay on the field. And I see the same thing with Julio Jones. Same thing.
Yeah, you were going in and out. Were you talking about McCaffrey staying healthy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, no, it was just more, I guess the internet connection kind of went in and out.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're back now. You're good.
Okay, yeah. It's just been Christian McCaffrey. You can't keep him healthy. And he's one of those guys. He's not – I don't think he'll ever be like a Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is kind of unique, and he's a lot more durable too. So they're able to utilize him in a different way, and they make it work.
Well, I mean, I'll say this: Christian McCaffrey is is the offense and is the everything. They ask him to do too much. Kamara, usually he had a two-headed monster, and they actually had their short little throws to the slant man,
Yeah.
and that would be the transition. They'd actually spread the ball around. It wasn't just Kamara left and right. He'd maybe have 15 to 20 touches, not just runs, but touches in general. They wouldn't overdo it. He was just so consistent and productive with those touches.
Right.
If they keep doing this, he's going to get hurt. He's going to have a
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey moment. You can't expect a guy that's barely 200 pounds to do this consistently. It's just not possible. If Devon White
Yeah.
lays a hit on him hard, I mean, he's going to get hurt. I mean, that's just how the game is.
Oh
But
yeah, they're going looking for him too. I mean, trust me, this is going to be a really good game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not much of a trash talker myself, so you won't hear me getting into it with Saints fans. I've got my friends that are Saints fans, and we go back and forth. But for the most part, I just want it to be a good, exciting game. Uh, they're unlikable players, on the Saints team for me, like Kim Jordan and some of these other guys that I just don't really care for, but it's going to be a good game.
all right, no doubt it's a division game. There's bad blood all around. There's the Jameis Winston emotions.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there's just so much involved with it, and no one likes Sean Payton's face. I mean,
Yeah.
anyone that's a fan hates Sean Payton, hates everything about the Saints. So
Yeah.
just hate on both sides. Mike Evans pushing Lattimore. Let's see how that hissy fit goes. Because of that, I hope AB has a 200-yard game.
I think he will. If AB plays, AB's going to roast him. And you heard it right here.
I
Because
mean,
they're looking at Godwin and Evans.
yeah,
And I can tell you that's who they're looking at. They're not paying attention to AB. And AB's going to roast him.
as he should.
Krillin, I like what you're saying. Winfield Jr. gets 2 picks. Again, he's either going to get either get 2 picks or somebody's going to hit Winston when he runs, because Winston will be trying to extend plays. You can trust and believe that. You saw it too.
Oh, hell yeah, I saw that. But hey, I don't like Sean Payton's face. Just something about his face.
Yeah,
Gotta
you
get
just want to punch him.
God,
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I can. Yeah, I'm sorry. I
he always
mean,
puckering
hope
his
I don't
damn
mess with your
lips,
sponsors
too.
or anything, but yeah, I'd punch him.
Yeah, well,
Like
speaking of
when he grabbed when he. Hey,
the
who was that?
Longhorn 1.0 guys, Manscaped, use it down below. Real Bucks Talk. Get 20% off Manscaped, free shipping, promo code Real Bucks Talk. Take care of the balls because Tom Brady does too.
That's right.
Yeah.
And Dirk Cutter, when he grabbed Dirk Cutter, he better be glad that wasn't me, because that just wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know. You remember that play where Peyton grabbed Dirk Cutter on his shoulder? Mm-mm.
well,
No.
that's why Dirk's not here. He didn't step
Yep.
up like a man.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened.
Let a little gerbil push him around.
Exactly.
Well,
But anyway,
yeah. Other than that, Gene, let everyone know where they can find you. We're hitting that 1 hour mark, and I'm being too loud. The baby's probably gonna wake up.
yeah.
But let everyone know where they can find you, where they're gonna find your work, and
Oh yeah.
talking Bucs.
You always see me lurking around Bucks Report somewhere. Be sure to check me out on Buck What You Heard. I'm on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I will have Bob Rose on from Sports Illustrated. He does cover the New Orleans Saints, so we will be talking in depth about the New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Be sure to check it out. The phone lines will be open on the back end of the call. Please come in and let's chat about it. It's a fan-friendly show. You're all welcome, whether it's in the chat or you feel like calling in. You may get an opportunity to win a shirt, compliments of Smack Apparel. So be sure to, check us out and see what you think.
Oh yeah, thanks again, Gene, for everything. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, you literally got Plus and I involved in everything that is Bucks right now, and we can't thank you enough. And then also I want to thank everyone in the chat. MD Peel, thank you for always showing up, showing out. Krillin, exactly. Hit that like button. Help support the channel and everything. Andrew, all y'all, Bud Cannabis. Love seeing you in the chat. With that said, enjoy the rest of your day. enjoy the week and get ready for another Buccaneer Sunday, and it's going to be a live one. With that said, till the next one.